Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back to another video on Lousy Gamer. And today is going to be an interview. This is the continuation of the topic that we were talking a few weeks ago, the war between UN and Fight Club. And this person is representing Fight Club. And this interview did go well because even though I asked questions, wanted to start with questions about the person himself, but he jumped right away into the war topic, which is good. So we started off with the questions on war, or who started this, what's the update, what's the future going to be like. So it was really a great conversation. So we learned quite a lot about this war, and I hope you will listen to this and get more information about what's going on. To be honest, both the sides were quite busy with all the war in the past few weeks, so I was not able to get more information on both camps. So now I think that after last week's big battle points from both sides, they're probably on ceasefire. Both the teams are growing, and I got a chance to get Pork Hunt from Fight Club to talk to us about the war and also his personal view on the game. So you will actually see two parts of this. Though I'm not going to publish this in two parts, it'll be one video, but within this, the first half will be more on FC and UN. The second half will be on what Pork Hunt thinks about this game, his favorite things, and his tips to new players, etc. So it was definitely a good package, and I feel that from a war topic perspective, it's not conclusive. Again, it's not the topic that we can conclude with just hearing one side of the story or having the screenshot from the other side. So what I really want is to have both the sides to come into an interview and talk about this, so that we get to listen both the teams asking questions to each other, because I might not have the full picture to ask questions to Pork Hunt, or the same, I cannot have the full idea on what the points that FC wants to ask UN. So but both the teams are very, very, very supportive. And I feel like these two teams are playing this war fair and square, and I think they are, both the teams are good in my opinion. It's just that one team will emerge as a winner. We don't know who that is. But all said and done, please listen to this interview. And thanks a lot for joining us for this interview. And I'm really excited for one reason. It's because we've been talking a lot about FC and UN war, and we have had a lot of people from the UN camp representing even before the FC war started. So this is the first time, I would say, somebody from FC coming out and giving their side of story. So for that reason, I thank you a lot for joining us today.
Yeah, no problem. Well, basically, it's kind of started really ego. I mean, there's a lot of ego going around this game. That's kind of how it started. I mean, it started over at college when I was in playing the Wickers. So I came from FC to playing the Wickers, but I've got a lot of real great friends. And the college was actually done on me, and then East, as you've seen me before, he kind of went a little bit far with it, and it started the whole war. And yeah, that's pretty much how it started, and then there was a lot of talk, and UN was like, will you get out there, and there's no apology. So, yeah, that was the big start of it, pretty much. It wasn't anyone's fault, it was just an IP tile clash. But it's just got taken out of perspective, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it, yeah. That was pretty much how it started, really. Everyone just their ego took over rather than their sense of, it was just an accident, a pure accident, but it's just, everyone wanted to fling their power around and everyone was excited, and that was basically it, really, and then it's just escalated from there, so, yeah.
Okay. Now, I think thanks for starting with giving us some background about the war. So what I've seen from both the camps, right? I've been talking to you guys, and also have some representative from UN talking to me. So what I got, the screenshot, I think you would have also seen that, definitely shows that the issue started from FC. Based on that screenshot, again, we don't have the other messages or anything that would support FC's innocence there, but how do you defend that screenshot?
How do I defend it? There's a lot of things I could say. The defense is that it's FC, former FC fans like to stay quiet, right? We want to play the quiet game. And the way I can defend it is that everyone sees one side and that's the UN side. But we have many, many other screenshots that we could share that shows that UN was actually one that started it. In no way did FC start it. Not at all. Everyone has been through,
but none of those screenshots have come out, right? So at least UN has shown that screenshot, and if you say that there are other screenshots would prove that UN is the one who was the brain behind starting this war, or they were the main reason picking war on FC, that screenshot should have been floating around in line, but I haven't seen any.
I've seen them.
Okay.
I've seen them. I've actually saved in my phone. But they're bad. Like, I wouldn't want to put them out there because it kind of like swaps the story around, and it's sort of like a head thing. Basically, like, it would swap everyone's mind, and what the whole thing is, what UN doesn't get is that people that are still under UN banners, under the UN tag, are actually helping FC.
Got it.
And that's kind of the point that FC is trying to make, is that you might be bigger than us, but we aren't going to crumble, and we're going to stand strong and united, because that's what FC is all about. Strong, united family. And FC is willing to keep this war going as long as UN wants to keep it going.
Yep.
That's it. That's how FC is fighting. We will fight until the last truth.
And would you guys be willing to share those screenshots that you said would prove that UN is the one who started this? Because I'm a neutral person here, because I see both sides have a valid point on who started this war, and right now I feel like UN has an upper hand in a way that they have put that on the table and say, see, this is what it started a war. So are you guys ready to do that, to put that out and say, hey, this is what started the war?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure FC would be willing to do it, but it's more like we see it as propaganda. FC sees it as propaganda. Screenshots are propaganda, and we don't play the propaganda war. I'm not in FC currently, but I'm still linked to FC. I still go into battle for them. Every day, if they said, talk, can you help it? I'd be like, yeah, straight over.
Yeah. And what are the situations that you feel like it's a propaganda? Because most of the time I have put their videos on my channel. Again, I with knowingly or unknowingly, and I think I reached out to people, and most of the time I try to get across all the regions. And what other things that they do in terms of propaganda? I know my channel is one of the area, but I try to stay neutral. But other than my channel, is there anything else they do on propaganda?
The propaganda part is there's a lot of, it comes down to everyone's like screenshot of it didn't happen, right? And that's what everyone goes by. And, of course, when you see a screenshot, you're going to believe it, aren't you? Because it's solid, hard proof, it's been put on the table, there it is. But there isn't two sides of the story. There's three sides of the story. There's your side, there's the side, and then there's the truth. And maybe the truth will never come out, because it's more than that if people saw both the screenshots, it would be up to them which side they thought started it. UN is more about making FC look bad, when we are more about fighting. FC has just been fighting, that's all we do, but they like to talk a lot and show their screenshots, and, be little girls about it, basically, But be honest, I could use another word, but that's probably the best word I can use it, as they're being very immature about it.
Okay.
We tried to go through political channels with them and everything, and nothing's working.
But don't you think that the propaganda has actually came out because FC started saying that the war has been started by UN because they have trillion power with them, and that because of that cloud, they are the one who picked on a smaller people like FC, and to defend that, probably UN would have put that screenshot out. Or do you think that would have been one of the case? Or again, I'm just asking, like, I really don't have any information other than the screenshot, so I'm trying to put the puzzles, the pieces of puzzle together.
It's all about adding more power. So of course they're going to put more stuff out to get more people in to join them, and it's more about adding to that. They're truly in power, so they should be able to take FC out. But if you look at it, really, they're bullying FC, but FC won't let it in. They've put the screenshots out there to make FC look bad and for more people to join them, because there are people that are leaving and going to different, because they know that the generals don't care about them. The UN generals don't care about their members. And that's what we're trying to point out. That's the big thing that FC is trying to point out, is that the generals don't care about you. Like, FC is a family. We look out for each other, and even if you're not in the FC alliance, they still treat you as family.
Yeah, that's a good point. And the war really started as the core FC members. I know you. I've spoken to Doc online, and you guys come from as a person who represent FC. I see you guys as FC, but when I see the when I see the reports that to show that FC is gaining an upper hand in the war, I see most of the players are the former SLC players. And how did that happen? And do you think that it'll continue in the future? You don't have to answer, because if it's really strategic for you guys not to reveal that, I'm fine. But I just wanted to kind of know.
Yeah, everyone, it's never going to end. It won't end. It'll be. I'd be lying if I said that it would be the close to ending. We're in a stalemate at the moment. It's not going to end. It's going to end badly for both sides. When it does end, it'll eventually end, and it's just going to be a messy fall apart. FC's going to fall apart, or UN's going to fall apart. Kind of as much as that. Like, what more can I say to basically prove, but basically put my mind out to say, whatever, and in my personal opinion, it won't end. It'll just become a stalemate. I got it.
Yeah. No, but that's what I mean. I think it's nothing wrong in getting some help, because one thing that I think in one of the videos that I mentioned was FC taking UN is definitely a bold move that you guys have done, being the smallest alliance, but you still had this balls to go against one of the biggest in the region, collectively. So I think getting some help isn't bad, but I also wanted to kind of see how much of the contribution from FC will be higher, and I do see some of the good reports from FC players as well. The reason why I asked is it's also part of the conversation that other people have, that the FC and UN war is now mostly becoming like SLC versus RW or UN, because more of the SLC players wants to take advantage of the FC versus UN situation and want to get into that war. So that's the reason why I raised that question.
Yeah, well, SLC has joined it.
Yeah.
With it, so we do have very big allies.
Mm-hmm.
They port over to R30 all the time, so it's not just FC. There's a lot of alliances that we are allied with that are helping us, and we are probably around, as in everyone, where we'd be around 800 billion power.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
So we're as big as UN, if not bigger now.
And the first round, I think now it's time where it's kind of ceasefire is what I heard from everyone. Just before the ceasefire, what do you think? Who actually gained advantage? I think it's definitely not fair to compare a bigger alliance, bunch of alliances versus FC, but you did get some help from SLC as well. So I'm going to put you guys on the same plane for now, for the argument's sake. And who do you think had an upper hand in the first round?
As far as you end up having the option, and they came out. They came out like forward. Really, they had the upper hand, but FC, UN tried to end the war quickly. FC, we fought that. We fought that hard, and now I believe that FC has the opinion because B Knights and Iron Legend, they are through fighters. The Iron Legend is the best player I've ever played with.
Yeah.
And they won't take him down ever.
Yeah. And do you ever see an end to this war? I mean, I'm a person who like to see wars, but not a rivalry forever. Yeah. But do you think, will this ever end, from your opinion?
I don't think it will, no. So, honestly, it won't ever end.
Okay.
It will end and the closes the game down.
Good. Looks like there are going to be more fireworks soon, from what you're saying. So, interesting to see how it goes. Yeah. And so, what do you think is FC's strength, and what made you guys to really think that you can take such a big power down? I would actually think twice. I mean, I would actually say that, fuck it, I'm not going to go and do this. But you guys did it, so I just want to...
Yeah, we did. FC is just a warring alliance.
Mm-hmm.
The war with everyone, always have. They're just every single FC member. They're all fighters. They have been. UN has never been in a war like this.
Mm-hmm.
And FC been in many wars. They know how to fight. So if the war does end, it's going to end on FC terms.
Okay.
I think that's the only upper hand is that FC is purely fighting.
Yeah.
There's no farmers, there's no IT hitters, it's just fighting every day.
That's a good answer.
That is what made FC take to think and get the courage up to take on such a big power, as you said, because they've done it before and they can do it again. That's pretty much FC's motto. We've done it before and we can do it again.
Sounds good. And just on the war, I think what you guys have done is pretty bold move. As I said, nobody would have never thought about doing that. And we talked a bit about the screenshots that were shared by UN, and you said you have some screenshots. I think at this point of time, I don't know whether it's even necessary to go back and see who started this war, but I think the outside world always looks at who started this war. So for that reason, maybe we have to solve that piece. But personally, what I think, it doesn't matter who started this, but now you're into this war. I think you got to, somebody has to see the end of it, right? So either it could be FC or it could be UN. maybe what we can do is, as a follow-up on this topic, we can try to dig more into what started this war, etc. So I think I'm really glad that you guys came out and spoke about this and gave us some insights on what happened. So is there any other things that you want to talk about the FC versus UN war before we go into about you? Because I wanted to know more about you and interview you to get some knowledge about the game.
I think I've said as much as they will allow me to say. Can't really say anything more. It's just that we want to know that we didn't start it, that we basically knew. You know, like, there's a certain limitation that I can speak to a certain extent, and I think I've said what I want to start. that was, everyone gets that limitation, you can't really pass it.
Yeah. That's good. Thanks for sharing with us on this topic. And I'm okay to do a follow-up with your team members, and I also can get some of the UN players on the same call, and we can at least solve the puzzle on who started this first. While I think, again, it's personally, I don't feel like we should know that because you guys are into it so much. Now have to find a way to see who is going to come out as a victorious group. So now I wanted to get into your gameplay style and what you are, who you are. Let's get into that specifics, because I've heard a lot of great things about you, and I wanted to have that discussion. So how long have you been playing this game?
Ever since it was made, I was R2 to start off with. So it's been probably about 4 years. So a very long time. Then I went through a couple of alliances in R2, and then brought out the first region ports and went to R5, and led a couple of alliances, and I then joined a player, J-Rock, as you know.
Yeah. And
me and him started an alliance after I moved in and helped him recruit players, and we made a really big alliance. So I played a year or so with him. I took a little bit of a break and came back in R11, and that region got a little bit boring because I was always looking for action. So that's why I just like the action of the game. And then I've spent the last 2 years in R14 by myself. A one-man army, as you can basically call it, fighting against Rise, R31 Rise. I just went in by myself. That was probably a silly move, but, you know, these things happen in the game. But that's just my region history. But I don't know, I've pretty much been, people call me a bit of a troublemaker, but I just play. I want to play pretty much. You know, there's not many values in the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much
good.
I spent most of my time with J-Rock and that, so he taught me the game a lot. He taught me a lot about it, so I have to, you know, give big thanks to him. But R14 was the best region I've been in. So really, it was an exciting region. It was a good region. It's sad to leave it, but it was just purely fighting. So I just love a bit of a fight, like everyone does, I suppose. But yeah.
Good. And with your journey in multiple regions, who are the people that you respect the most, that you would like to remember at this moment and give them a shout out? It could be 1, 2, or as many as 10 or 15 people, because you've played it for almost 4 years, what I heard. So I'm pretty sure you'll have a lot of people to mention.
Yeah, the biggest one I'd have to mention would be Snake Eyes and Rye. He helped me a lot. I've been real good mates with him for the last 2 years. protected me a bit from the rest of our 14. Helped me build my city, get my leaders in order, and there's probably a couple of others, just a few quick mentions of that. J-Rock. I'd have to mention my now current Alliance General John Quiller from Section, and Mohamed. He's in Rise now as well. Me and him are real good mates, so he helped me a lot. Just pretty much a lot of the Rise boys helped me a fair bit, protecting me and stuff. But I'd say Mo, J-Rock, Snake Eyes, just mainly those players, and Anubis from Saint, that was in R14. They're the ones that I really respect, and I'd go to battle with them any day of the league. They're really good players. They're probably the best players in the game, in my honest opinion. So that's pretty much just those ones. There's actually one more, the great Randy. She's in 31 Martyrs in Herald, I think. She's another really brilliant player. So they're pretty much all the people that I'd go through that I respect and like. I think, they're the only ones I'd really give a huge shout out to, because they're the ones that, stuck by me. We've gone through hard times, we've been through, good times together, and, they're the only ones that I'd say have kept me going as long as I have been in this game.
Awesome. And the game itself, right? So what's your favorite troop type, infected leader, and your favorite human leader?
That's a good question. My favorite troop type would be Piercer, because the Piercers, if you've got enough of them like I do, no one can shoot you. They're great for defense, and you can just basically sit there and watch somebody losing all their power on you. And the Piercer, so demo-based troops, even your regular demo-based are good, but Piercers would be my favourite. Infected leader, I'd say, would be Venom, because of the troop defense. It's got really good troop defense, so we've got them along with Piercers, and you're set. My favourite human leader would be the guys at Nightingale, because they really help on IC. It's a good IC, and once you've upgraded them, it's a rocket of the leader. You won't get any better leader in the game, any better human leader, in my honest opinion.
Yep.
But yeah, they're my three types. Demo, it'd be Venom, and Nightingale.
That's good. And the new players, I did an interview with the newer region player yesterday. So he's playing in region 27. There are plenty of people still joining the game. So I was surprised to even know about that, because I thought everybody is in these three regions and we are trying to, these are the last bunch of people playing, but looks like there are a lot more people joining in. And any new player tips that you want to give to, as an experienced player, give a few words to them?
Yeah. My best tip I could tell them is find a good alliance, a good strong alliance that they can build up in, and not spend as much as I do each. So if they get into a good alliance, they can build up from there. And I mean, they should just concentrate on one type of troop. So if they want to be an attacking player, then concentrate on vehicles. If they want to be an infected city hitter, you've got the infantry, or if they want to play straight up hard defense, you've got the demolition.
Mm-hmm.
But probably the most important tip I can give you is to find a good alliance. So they can grow in that alliance, and one day, they could be the next billion player, and you never know. It is a game that they will probably have to spend money on, as everyone does. But that's probably my first tip that they should do, is find a good active alliance that can help them proceed and come up as the next big player. But yeah, I think they should just probably maybe, it's better to keep to yourself than be outspoken. That's how I found myself getting into trouble a lot. Like, being too outspoken sometimes. So I'm like, yeah, that's not good. But that's the only advice I could probably give them, is they need to find a good, strong, active alliance.
Yeah, that's good. That's
the first thing they should look at doing straight away.
Yeah, those are some good tips. So finding a great alliance to start with be good, and focusing on your XP, and also to, I think you pretty much said shut your mouth until you kind of figure out the game and don't get into fucking trouble. So that you can grow. So yeah, thanks. And any tips to Ember? I know they are making a lot of changes. Any one tip that you want to give, not tip, one change or enhancement that you want Ember to make?
I'm actually really glad to ask that question. DNA.
Yeah.
You used to have a cat, right? I'm sick of it. I have 1.8 million of it sitting on me, and they need to, like, even if they gave us an 800k DNA cat and we could go over that would be perfectly fine by me, because, it's only 8 million, block power basically, but they need the DNA cat, and they need to bring out better packs as well, because they're not getting all the cannon, they're not getting that money for it. So that's two things they definitely need to look at, in my opinion.
Yep, sounds good. And sorry, if you want to add something else.
I think that Emma probably won't do it, because they like the money too much. But we can only hope, I suppose. I can hold out hope that they put a DNA cap on. That's pretty much all I want them to do. And a lot of other players want them to do is just get rid of the DNA.
Yeah, I hope they are working on that fix. And I think some of the rumors we did see is you have to use your DNA to build your troops, or even build your wall defenses. So that's going to put some brakes on how people are growing crazy with their troop counts. I don't know how it's going to shape the game up, but yeah, that's what we heard from some of the changes that they are trying to make. But as long as they get rid of DNA power, that would actually put the real power on the table. So that would be a good starting point for me to really see what the real power for the... Yeah. Yeah. Good. And any final thoughts before we wrap this conversation up?
I'd really, just my tip to new players, I'll say it again, just don't get yourself in shit, basically, because it's not going to end well. But, yeah, as I said, I knew the Snake Eye, Mo, and the Great Landini are the best people to play with, and Jay Rucker, of course, all of them are the best players I've ever played with. That's all I really can think of. All the players, they're the best ones, and I hope they stay on for a long time, because they make the game what it is. The players make the game what it is. That's pretty much all I would say, is the players make the game.
Good. And I would like to really thank you for calling me from all the way from there, down under Australia. And and also I wish you and your team all the best, because you guys have taken really tough task, I would say. As I said, I would just go and hide under the table if some big alliances come after me. But you guys have shown your chest and taken this challenge up. So all the best to your team, and you guys are doing amazing. And I wish you all the best. And I hope to see more of the fireworks soon.
Yeah, I'm sure they will be. But yeah, thanks a lot for giving me the chance to do the interview. Yeah, really appreciate it.
Thank you, mate. And you have a good rest of the day.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
Bye.